into a new season. It's been a long year, and our productions were disrupted by a lot of things, not the least of which was Hurricane Helene. I'm here to give several important updates. One, most of western North Carolina is open. Now, there's a lot of areas that are still in trouble, but they are open. And I'm here in front of the world famous Moose Cafe to demonstrate they are open. They even have a now hiring sign out front. So if you're in Asheville looking for a job, check the Moose Cafe. Secondly, it has been a long year and our production has been delayed. Not only by Hurricane Helene, but also by technical issues, and also by producer Merle going off on a quest for hot sauce nirvana, which apparently he found, or the closest thing to. Long-term viewers will be aware we are starting a cooking show, and this Merle found a new sponsor for my cooking show. In fact, he was so enthusiastic, he got them to give you a discount code. And it's being displayed right now. You can go to Andosaurus hot chili oil and get a discount by entering the code on the screen. The details will be in the show notes. I'm not making any cash off of this. It's all about Merle, which means I have to stare at Merle wearing a panda hat all season. But welcome to the new season, and we are going to be focusing on western North Carolina and how it is recovering from Hurricane Helene.
When Hurricane Helene dealt a body blow to western North Carolina, nothing was hit harder than the timber. Other areas were hit hard too, and the effect across the region on the timber resources will be felt for years to come. Ironically, the destruction wrought by this hurricane, other hurricanes, and other disasters such as the fires in Southern California mean that the supply chain for building supplies will be stretched even thinner. That's important because concrete is going into the ground every day in ever increasing amounts. And that concrete is surrounded by wood frames. The two seem slightly unrelated, but the supply chain woes illustrate how the same depleted timber resources are going to be sought after by both processes, until now. Recently, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology published an article describing how they're coming up with replacements for the wooden frames used for concrete. Their solution is mud from the very construction site itself. The process takes soil and puts it together into a 3D printed frame for the cement. Now, this is important for several reasons. In the article, How Good Old Mud Can Lower Building Costs, Peter Dzikis writes about the 10 research students who worked on the project and the problems it can solve. To begin with, they're developing new 3D printing technologies that can print entire structures. Anyone who's driven up I-26, I-85, Highway 25, or a number of other construction projects all across the nation has seen how hard it is to replace the concrete barriers between the lanes. And this is a direct application of 3D printing's possibilities. Of course, foremost in the minds of the MIT scientists is the burden on the environment and how this could drastically reduce that. Sandy Kurth leads the project and said, quote, "It has the potential for immediate impact and doesn't require changing the nature of the construction industry," end quote. In fact, recently they wrote a paper titled Earthworks, Zero Waste 3D Printed Earthen Formwork for Shape-Optimized Reinforced Concrete Construction, with the 9 other co-authors. This technology has real-world applications even apart from the effect on the environment. To begin with, it could reduce construction costs and what has to be trucked to the construction site. Second, as humans expand to Mars and the Moon, well, timber isn't going to be there. Called Earthworks, this large-scale 3D printing technology is really only an elaboration of the old adobe and mud brick construction that humans have used since time immemorial. The MIT scientists are combining this with 3D printing to create a replicator for huge structures. In fact, Kurth discusses the possibilities of a return to adobe-like structures. This technology is a perfect example of why things like material science can solve even most of the difficult problems here on Earth. I promise you, every construction manager out there would love not to have to buy timbers for concrete framing. Now, another MIT article published recently illustrates this even more. The concern over increased carbon dioxide is widespread, and obviously, reducing production of carbon dioxide is not a bad thing, since carbon dioxide waste means the chemical processes are not totally efficient. We can save far more than the environment with efficient energy production. And that's exactly what they are trying to do at MIT. In the article, quote, "How to make these small modular reactors more cost-effective," end quote, the work of Yu-Yun Cho is discussed in producing small modular reactors. In particular, this article discusses how geometry is being used to shape nuclear fuel into more efficient shapes for use in SMRs. Cho grew up in South Korea, where the energy supply is a critical national security issue. She initially pursued the dream of fusion technology, but realized fission systems such as small modular reactors are the more direct answer for her nation and the entire world. SMRs are also a solution in areas like Mars or the Moon due to their small size. Now, this article is very interesting because it focuses on forming uranium dioxide ceramic fuel into a helical cruciform. The material and the shape increase the surface area and higher conductivity, allowing greater electrical production. And as we are doing during this entire season, these have direct applications to our area as we recover from Hurricane Helene. Imagine the possibility of having a small modular reactor placed in the disaster area to produce electricity. These solutions, whether they're in western North Carolina, in Florida, or in Southern California will help humans overcome tragedies like hurricanes and fires. And that's a hopeful thing.